Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of 30 days of sketches. The sketch today is by Sean Styles Lar, and actually this is not today's sketch. It's the sketch from the 23rd. I'm just behind on getting my video up. So I am doing a double page, kind of going, well, not really going off the sketch so much, except for she's got that border across the top with the scallops, and again at the bottom in one area, I'm rotating it and getting my borders on the sides. So it's going to look a little bit different, but I did take my inspiration from the sketch. I've got several photos of MK and myself and our husbands and our friends, Lynn and Dean, from our Alaska cruise. And this was one of the shows that we saw that is actually probably the best show that we saw on board, mostly because MK's husband and my husband were both pulled up onto stage to do a, I think it's called a stein hold, where they hold the beer stein and they've got to hold it straight out in front of them for however long it's until the crew stops singing, basically. And of course the crew is doing all kinds of crazy stuff, like trying to crawl between their legs and be goofy and all of this kind of stuff, and to distract them, basically. And my husband was a little bit of a cheater because he kept taking the actual beer out of his stein. They actually had a stein with a can of beer inside of it, but he kept taking the can of beer out and taking a sip and putting it back in using his other hand, so thereby making it a little bit lighter. But it was all in good fun, right? So it made it really funny, and we had a really good time watching it. The show is called A Night at the Klondike, and they were all dressed up as I don't know, early 1900s, I guess, and gold rush era type of thing. And so I've got the program thing in there. I don't feel like I need to put a title on it because it says it all, basically. I've also got photos of the signage that they had on board leading you into this venue that they were hosting it at. And so that's what I am doing. I am using my scallop punch. This is from X-Cut. It's an older scallop punch that I've had for quite a while. And I am using that to make my borders. And I'm just tearing them because I wasn't sure if I wanted them torn or if I wanted them to have a straight edge. So I thought, I'm going to tear them. Worst case, I can always make them a little narrower by throwing them into my trimmer and trimming them down and getting that straight edge if that's what I decide. I did also decide to use this really bright gold 8.5 by 11 paper to back this Klondike flyer or brochure. And I thought that would work really well, just given the era and everything that, it was representing. And I thought it would be kind of cool. Plus, I've had that in my stash for a very, very long time. I don't know where I got it from, but it's very like in your face gold. So using it in small amounts seemed like the best thing to do. I will be using some flip flaps on this page. If you're not sure what a flip flap is, it's a little page protector the size of the photograph, and it has an adhesive strip on it so you can adhere it to the outside of your 12 by 12, and then you can flip it up and you can essentially get 3 photos in the space of where one photo would fit. Or you could put some journaling in that space, in one of those spaces, if you felt like you wanted to add some journaling. So I had 2 pieces of paper with that orangey background, and I think those are from the 49 and Market Wherever collection, and same with this piece that I've got that's got the blue on it. But my second piece of the orange paper was not a full sheet, so I am adding this blue on the edge. I think it works really well because there are a lot of blues in the photographs. And then I am going to take a really small strip of that blue and add it over to the left hand or right hand side, just to bring in a little bit of the blue on that side, which is great because the writing on the program is also blue, so I feel like it's going to work really well. And I could have gone with the darker side of this orangey paper, but I kind of wanted to lighten it up going across and make it feel like it was darker towards the center of the 2 pages and fading out. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then I'm going to add the darker orange strip to the left hand side to bring the darker over across there. excuse me, the bottom right hand photo is one that is going to be a flip flap. And then I believe the top left is going to be a flip flap as well. And that's going to give me plenty of space to do a little bit of journaling about the event and everything that happened during the event and how fun it was to see those guys go up there and participate for everybody's sake. And I'm not going to have a lot of writing, journaling that is exposed. It's all going to be kind of hidden in the fact that it's in the flip flaps, but it'll be easy to get to because the flip flaps are on the outside of the page protector. Now, my flip flaps are called flip flaps and they are from Close to My Heart, but since they're no longer in business, I believe Stampin' Up! Has them now, and I know, I believe Scrapbook.com carries some, 49 and Market makes some, so they're still available. They're just not called flip flaps, but I'm not sure what the name of the products from the other companies are called, so I apologize for that. So I finally decided to leave the black strip on the left-hand side as a torn edge, and then on the right-hand side, since it's going off the page, I'm going to go ahead and trim that down. And then once I get my vertical strips down, I decide I'm going to add some embellishments in the form of arrows, and that made me decide to cut up these photographs that have the signage on them. So I'm going to cut those into the arrows that they are and use those kind of as part of my embellishments. And then the little sign that is below the arrow that I'm currently cutting, I'm going to add that. It's like a wanted poster for the main character of the entertainment, or the story. And so I'm going to put that on the right hand side. So I think that's going to do a really good job of adding a few embellishments that are not really embellishments, they're photos, but you know, they help tell the story, so I wanted to include them, but they were taking up a lot of space that they really didn't need to take up because all of the stuff that was in the outside of the subject of the photo was not necessary. It was, you know, the wall of the ship where the signs were posted and all of that kind of stuff. So I went ahead and trimmed all that down. I did decide to distress all of my papers and whatnot so that they have kind of a little bit more of a grungy feel to them, just for the fact that this is supposed to be like an old time type of a deal. So I felt like that was a really good and appropriate way to treat my ephemera and even the photos that I cut into smaller pieces. And then I'm using this sticker sheet. This is an older sticker sheet from an old Close to My Heart collection. And I am using the arrows off of it. So the blues match really well, as do the oranges, the reds, I guess. It's really red, but it's kind of an orangey red, and it goes really well with the photo on the right-hand side and the reddish color of the program detail work, I guess. The flourishes and whatnot. I took more of that gold paper. I cut a ticket out of it, so that's going to bring in more of the gold. And then I think I'm going to cut a label or something like that out of it to bring it over above the left-hand photos, just to bring that gold in more. And that gold paper is actually embossed. It's got some embossing detail on it, so you'll see that in the close-ups. It's not just a flat piece of gold. It's got kind of a florally type of a design on it, but again, I thought it played really well with the rest of the stuff that's going on here, so that makes me really happy. The bottom photo on the left-hand side was after the guys were done with their challenge. The top photo is them doing the challenge, and they were just kind of given a cheers type of a deal at the bottom photo. So we all had a really good time watching them. You know, it's always fun to watch your loved ones get embarrassed on stage, right? But they did raise their hand for this, I believe. So, yeah, it's all good. It was all in good fun, and everybody had a good time. It was, like I said, best entertainment that we had on board. I cannot say much for the rest of the entertainment on this cruise, and I don't know if that's because yeah, I don't know why that is. Basically, yeah, we just did not have the best entertainment on this cruise. but this was a fun one. So definitely got to get it into the books. Now, because I am adding all of these arrows to the top of this strip, and the strip has texture on it from using my distress tool from MK's shop, some assemblage required. I am putting a really thin foam dot under each end that is to help bridge over that strip and keep my arrows from being depressed down and looking like the papers are bent that they are made out of. So you can see me here. I am cutting my little foam pieces up, and I find the best way to do that is leave them on their carrier sheet and cut them before you peel them off, because then they don't stick to your scissors. They've got carrier sheet on the top and the bottom, and that just protects your scissors so your scissors don't get gummy or junked up, and then you don't have to go and clean your scissors out as frequently. So even these titanium scissors that say they're non-stick, stuff sticks to them eventually. So they may not stick right off the bat, but they do stick eventually. So definitely use that little bit of a tip to cut your adhesive before you take it off the carrier sheet. So now I am gonna go ahead and I'm trying to figure out putting my photos into the photo sleeve, the little flip flaps. But my bottom photo here is a little bit smaller than a 3x4. I might have printed these on my selfie, which the selfie doesn't print a true 3x4 or 4x6. That's slightly smaller. So I am backing it. And excuse me. Yeah, I had to kind of figure out my backing because I didn't have enough of that gold paper to do a full photo mat on this bottom right hand one. So I am just Frankensteining it together, but once it's in the page protector or the sleeve, it's not going to matter. You're not going to be able to see it. I'm also giving it a little bit of a dark blue background, and I'm using one of the 3x4 cards that came with the scrapbook kit that you could buy on board Princess Cruises. So the color matches really well to the 49 and Market stuff. It also brings a little bit more blue to this bottom corner, which is great because there's quite a bit of blue on that strip on the left-hand side. But it also is going to give me a place to do some writing, and I'm pretty happy with the way that it turns out. So yeah, I think it's going to look really good when it's all said and done. And then I'm just trying to figure out a few more embellishments to this right-hand side just to give it a little bit more oomph. This is it's a pretty simple layout. There's not a lot of extra embellishments on it, but design-wise, I think sometimes simple is better, especially when you've got a lot going on. We don't need to kind of overthink it and put too much on every single layout, right? Yeah, so that's my thinking. I've got a lot of layouts in my album for Alaska, and some of them are, I'm going to say, super fancy. I don't know if that's even the right word, but and some of them are more simple. And so I like having that little surprise of things as I flip through my album, where some things are more fancy than other things. And I also like having other sizes in here, especially the flip-flops make it a lot of fun also. So this little sticker with the beer, I think it says cheers, is from one of the Pink Fresh Studio collections. I do not know which collection it's from. I'm sure it says there on the paper, simply something, simply I don't know, simply crafted, I don't know. But it's been in my stash for a long time, and I definitely had it held aside for some photos of the guys doing guy stuff, because it had that beer in it, and I knew exactly where it was in my stash. So I was like, I gotta go pull that one. And it was not something that I thought about when I chose the colors of the layout, but it matches perfectly, so I'm super happy about that. The only thing is I am adding it to the top of the flip flap, so that means it's a little bit sticky on the back. So I used my powder tool, the turquoise circular piece in the upper left hand corner, to remove some of the sticky on the back, and then I decided to go ahead and add a couple more stickers to it using an arched sticker from the Pink Fresh collection, and then a circular piece from that same Close to My Heart collection. And then I am calling it done, you guys. That is it. I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. I really, really appreciate it. And don't forget to go check out what everyone else is doing with the 30 days of sketches. Remember, this is for day 23. If you want to go back and see that, you might search on day 23, and you'll get more inspiration using Sean's sketch. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.